Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Jared Pratt, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 2, Anthony Haggerty. We warmly welcome the family of Stoker 2nd Class Spencer Milner Freeman, whose story will be told shortly. We're honoured to acknowledge Lieutenant General Tom Cobbinger-Symes, Deputy Commander, United Kingdom Strategic Command, and the accompanying delegation. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony from across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. If able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through until the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Stoker, second class Spencer Milner Freeman. Spencer Freeman was born in the Sydney suburb of Manly on the 16th of January 1921, the son of George and Elizabeth Freeman. Growing up alongside his brother George, who would also go on to serve in the Royal Australian Navy. Freeman was a talented student, being dux of Brookvale Public School at the age of 13. He went on to work as a builder's labourer. He was also a member of the Royal Australian Naval Reserve, and with the coming of the Second World War was mobilised, reporting for duty at HMAS Rushcutter on the 20th of September 1940. From October, he was posted to HMAS Cerberus, the Royal Australian Navy's primary training establishment on the Mornington Peninsula, south of Melbourne City, where he undertook technical training. In early February, Freeman joined HMAS Vampire, a destroyer loaned by the British Admiralty to the Royal Australian Navy in 1933, along with the flotilla leader HMAS Stewart, and the destroyers Vendetta, Voyager and Waterhen. Together, they formed the Australian Destroyer Flotilla, which became famous at the Scrap Iron Flotilla. Vampire and other ships of the flotilla were involved in escorting convoys in the Mediterranean, moving troops and equipment in the face of increasing enemy air attack. From early March 1941 until late April, some 58,000 troops, their stores and fighting equipment were transported from Egypt to Greece. Vampire sailed on the 9th of March, escorting empty ships from Paris to Alexandria and then assisting in their safe return, laden with evacuated troops. Vampire continued these duties throughout April. On the 17th of April, she was attacked by 4 German Junkers 88 bombers, which were driven off, one of which was hit in the port engine by Vampire's anti-aircraft gunners. A week later, Vampire sailed from Alexandria and the expected air attack soon eventuated, forcing the abandonment of the damaged Scottish Prince by her crew. Urged on by the ship's company of the Vampire, however, the crew returned to the listing vessel and brought her safely into Suda Bay, Crete. The Greek campaign, however, was a lost cause, and in late April, an evacuation commenced. Over 50,000 troops were evacuated, with Vampire continuing to provide escort support in the face of heavy opposition. On the 8th of May 1941, Vampire was part of a convoy steaming from Alexandria to Crete when she was attacked by 3 torpedo bombers. Stoker second class Spencer Freeman was the only casualty in the Vampire, having been wounded by a stray bullet ricocheting on board. Freeman was taken to hospital in Alexandria, where his wounds proved mortal. He died on the 8th of June 1941. Spencer Freeman was only 20 years old. Today, his remains lie in the Chatby Military and War Memorial Cemetery in Alexandria, Egypt, under the inscription, "Chosen by his grieving family, safe in the arms of Jesus." His name is listed on the Roll of Honour to my left, amongst almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Stoker second class Spencer Milner Freeman, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
If able, please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They have no grave, but the cruel sea. No flowers lay at their head. A rusting hulk is their tombstone, a fast on the ocean bed. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorials Development Project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.